Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Apostate Weekly. I'm your host, James.
And I'm Ryan.
And as you can tell, I have been sick a little bit this week, so please pardon my voice for not being completely there, or my beard for not being completely there, because I had respirator fit at work and I had to shave. So
it looks good. It looks good.
No, it doesn't. I hate it. Well, it's got back to the scruffy part now, but like when it was smooth, I feel like a skinned rat when I have that.
Like a baby's butt.
Yes. And so real quick, this morning we are going to be talking about Ernie Fion's trial, what happened with that. I've got another article about one of Robert Hendricks's, I'm not sure if it's like a niece, but it's a relative of Robert Hendricks. It was in a newspaper article.
Ooh.
And then also I got a statement from, excuse me, Erwin Zalkin talking about the stuff in Pennsylvania as well. So
great.
Quite a bit to cover with that this morning. So with that being said, let's hit that intro and we'll get into it. All right, so we are back, and actually, my goodness, I didn't realize what today's date was. Holy moly.
Right?
So
we're already done February.
Yeah, so I wrote this in my notes for the show, and because I keep a little note file for the show for every week, and if we're going by our breaking up things, today's actually supposed to technically be our season 3 episode 1, because we're dividing it into 30 episodes.
Oh, well, okay.
I meant to give you a heads up about it before that happened, but I didn't even realize what the date was.
Oh, well,
so,
we'll have to start next week.
Yeah.
You got an extra bonus season this episode this season.
Yes. So, and I'm trying to do that because what I want to do is I want to make the playlist to be 30 episodes per season, so it breaks it up a little bit easier for everybody.
Yeah, I think that makes sense instead of having like hundreds of episodes.
Yeah, so, but anyways, this will be season 2 extended edition. Coming out on DVD. No, not coming out on DVD.
No, you wouldn't want that.
No, not with the cost of that. Anyways.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
I love the character development at the end of season 2. Well, that would be great and all if I had some character.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Get this guy out of here.
Oh, you want me to be the character Lord Jesus? Okay, hang on. I got to go get a robe.
I already have one. I could just be Jesus.
Mine's a camo robe. So I'll be, what'll be, Republican Jesus? All I need is a gun.
Yeah, you just need like an AR-15 and you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple grenades in your hand.
Yeah, there you go.
Instead of a Bible, or maybe a Bible and some grenades.
And the nuclear launch codes.
I think Trump might want to buy those from you.
No, Jonathan. No, no, no. Let me, in case you didn't understand.
He's just a little baby, Jonathan.
Yes. On top of a dinosaur.
Heck yeah.
Just like it was back in the day.
A T-Rex, baby.
Well, then it might have wings. Maybe.
No, that would be my unicorn.
Oh, I have one. Just saying.
So.
It vibrates.
All right. Well, with all that banter being out of the way and out of our system for the entire rest of the show, no promises made.
We're done. No more. We're good now. Professional.
Yes. Put on the serious face.
It was right. I'm
God,
gonna
this
bring it
sucks. Anyways. So let's get into this week's stories. What do you say?
Yes, let's do it. Dive on in, babes.
Anyone particularly interest you the most?
Oh, I would love to know what's happening in PA, if you don't mind.
Sure,
I'm
we will-
antsy for that.
Well, this is a statement I got. This Barbara Anderson shared this on my mom and dad will know this website, but because they don't use it anymore, it's Jehovah's-Witness.com.
The forum thing?
The forum thing, yes. Back in the day, this was the place to go before all the other social media sites started popping up for it. But Barbara Anderson still posts on here. Mr. Left-Handed Jedi, all you have to do is just go back and rewatch it from the beginning, and you can catch all of our crazy banter. So, just saying.
Play it at 2 times the speed and you'll catch up.
Or play it at half the speed, and you can get it twice as long.
I don't think it it doesn't work that way in the bed. I'm just saying.
No, unfortunately not.
or thank goodness, because that could be quite painful. That is what she said.
Circumstances depending.
Oh gosh, sorry y'all. Boy,
Anyways,
such a serious subject.
The show must go on. Good morning, XJWMJ. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen here with it. So I'm going to read a lot of this just because I have no way of really summarizing it better than what it is.
Yeah, no, please do. Sometimes that's the best way to do it.
So just bear with me for a minute, because this is, as you see me scrolling, that's about how long it is right there. It's a bit of a read here.
Just take a sip of water if you need it.
Well, I got my beer, so.
Okay, or beer. Either way, that'll work. It'll do the job.
Basically, she starts off by saying that Erwin Zalkin gave her permission to share this explanation, and here's what it is. So the Pennsylvania Supreme Court memorandum opinion raises the question of whether Jehovah's Witness elders who are volunteer clergy fall under an exception to the mandatory reporting law of the state of Pennsylvania. JW's members of the Ivy Hill Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses sued the PA Department of Human Services and asked the court to issue a judgment that, as a matter of law, makes Jehovah's Witness elders exempt from PA's mandatory reporting of known or suspected child abuse, including child sexual abuse. PA's clergy mandatory reporting law has an exception when the clergy member learns of the child abuse under circumstances that require him or her to maintain the information secret or confidential. Excuse me. The Ivy Hill congregation members argued that under the tenets of JW's organization, elders are required to keep that information secret and therefore fall within this exception to the PA clergy mandatory reporting law. The lower court, where this issue was first raised, dismissed the lawsuit, holding that there was no actual controversy raised by the lawsuit since DHS has never brought any legal action against the JWs related to mandatory reporting, and that DHS is not the proper enforcement agency to take legal action against the JWs. And as, in essence, the PA Supreme Court held that the Ivy Hill congregation sued the wrong party. The PA Supreme Court did not decide the issue of whether JW elders are exempt from PA's mandatory reporting law. It reinstated the Ivy Hill lawsuit on the basis that the judge's dismissal was inconsistent with another Ivy Hill case where the court refused to dismiss that case at the request of DHS on different legal grounds, but in essence finding that a case against DHS is proper. PA Supreme Court sent the second Ivy Hill case, referred to as Ivy Hill 2, back to the lower court for that lower court to rule on whether JW elders are exempt from PA's mandatory clergy or PA's clergy mandatory reporting law.
Sheesh.
Okay, so this is actually this last paragraph here, though, is where it really
Sums it up.
And gets to the point here. The Zalkin law firm has been representing survivors of child sexual abuse within the Jehovah's Witness organization for over 20 years. In many of these cases, JWs have argued that their elders are exempt from various state mandatory reporting laws for the same reason they raised in the Ivy Hill congregation cases. What PA's DHS may not know, and what Zalkin law firm has learned through these years of litigation against JWs, is that congregation elders are not required to keep information they learn about child abuse, including sexual abuse, secret. In fact, their requirements are the exact opposite. Congregation elders are required to disclose the information to the National Organization Service Department and Legal Department. Notice those are two different departments.
Yeah.
Further, records are maintained relating to disciplinary action taken against the alleged perpetrator. These records are available to other elders who may be new to the congregation at a future date. If the perpetrator moves to a new congregation, the elders of the new congregation are required to be advised of the information relating to the allegations of child abuse or child sexual abuse by that perpetrator. So unlike other religious denominations, where such information remains confidential between a priest, pastor, or rabbi who cannot disclose such information to anyone else, the witnesses require that many other individuals have access to the information. There is no reason that JW elders should be exempt from reporting child sexual abuse to the proper authorities, given the long and known history of child sexual abuse within the JW's organization. Mandatory reporting by the elders needs to be required and enforced.
Erwin, thank you, sir.
That was a long read.
But that was spot on, and I'm really glad that you read it directly from his words.
Yes.
Because he wrapped up in a tiny little package with a bow and everything on a silver damn platter. He was like,
yes, he did.
That information actually is not secret, and many people have privy to it. Therefore, bingo bango.
And that's the whole part where the witness elders, when they try to claim clergy penitent privilege, is totally thrown out the window.
Yep, exactly.
DHS, it said it at the beginning of the letter, Jonathan. If you just pay attention, my brother.
Is it Department of Health Services? That's what I thought it was.
Department of Human Services.
Human Services. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, that's fine. When I was reading it too, I'm like, I had to go back and do the same thing. So I just got to give you crap about it, Jonathan.
Damn it. We're not paying attention like we should be.
So, but yes, that was an excellent letter by Erwin Zalkin. And of course, if anybody doesn't know, he is a lawyer out of California that's been handling these abuse cases out there. So
I remember seeing his name come up just in doing searches for articles. Zalkin would always come up, and I didn't realize. I mean, this was like, since we've been doing the show a year ago, whatever.
Yeah.
I had no idea like how awesome this law firm, this guy is.
Well, I can't remember what show it was on, because there was one of those expose series on witnesses that I've seen on TV.
Right.
And Erwin Zalkin's law firm was prominently part of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he had in one instance it was another abuse story that survivor that he was helping, and they went on the TV saying how we're going after Watchtower. He is actually one of the main lawyers in this country that he knows about their secret database. He knows
Mhm.
about it. This is not conjecture anymore. This is not, made up apostate lies. He knows about their database and he has seen the proof of it. Now, he can't just go release all the evidence he has, of course, because of, the laws and everything about that. But keep an eye on him in the future. And I think he's going to be a big prominent role in the uncovering of these cases in this country as they continue to come out, especially with the information he has and knows about them all.
Yeah, definitely. And yes, I think you've made a good point. They really should be reporting all abuses. They should
Yes.
all be reported to the police. They are not capable and trained on how to deal with these issues to bring proper solutions.
Well, I
The
mean,
Bible ain't going to cut it.
no, they won't report child abuse. They won't report domestic abuses. They won't report anything at all. But yet they'll tell the service department, the what was the other one? Oh, come on, brain. The legal department. Thank you.
Oh, right.
And
Yeah.
they'll tell those departments at Bethel. They'll keep records in their congregations. They'll pass that information on to future elders, but they won't ever call the cops.
Exactly.
Nor will they ever tell anybody in the congregation that they have an abuser among them.
No, there's no warning, there's no heads up, they wouldn't even change his role so he wouldn't be around people like out in service or things of that nature. Like nothing really changes.
And the next article that I have to share is about one of Robert Hendricks's family members.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, and I'll just start sharing it a little bit now and talking about it because it fits in well, because this article talks about her abuser and the stuff that she went through and to finally come out with it all, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that the elders did with this abuser is, let's see here, it's down here. Let's see, that's about the email and text messages. So, and this is really what's sad about it. I'm trying to read it too fast and I'm skipping right over it. But I read the whole thing already. I just don't know what I'm looking for is at. But one of the things that they did with this guy is, instead of like giving people in the congregation a heads up about who this person is, right? And saying, hey, this guy's a sexual abuser, et cetera, et cetera. What they did was they had him sit on just the right side of the congregation, away from everybody, quote unquote, and that was it. But he was still in the same building with nobody knowing who he was.
That's just so weird. Like, what is the purpose? Like, what do you think you're doing? What kind of example are you making? Like, you would happily disassociate, disfellowship, shun somebody who has sex, but somebody who's abused somebody, you just make some precautions, maybe, possibly, not always. What the frick? Who are you protecting people from, truly? It's not the predators.
Here it is right here. This is Ciano Hendricks. She quoted here saying, when I approached the church, they told me I have the right to just not be there when he gives parts, or they'll tell me to sit on the other side of the room, she said. So the minute I got verbal with the book and everything, I'm labeled an apostate.
Wow.
And I mean, that's just such victim blaming, perpetrator protecting behavior. And it's disgusting. Mm-hmm. Telling her that she doesn't have to come, or telling her to sit on the other side of the hall from him. And then when she speaks up about it, well, we're going to label you an apostate. No, screw you.
Yeah.
You're the people who are causing the problems here. You need to be held accountable.
Right. She's the bad guy for
Yeah.
speaking up. Yeah, the elders
they-
are kind of like the HR.
And what's even bigger, I'm reading in this article, is she was also told not to tell any of her friends, like, you know, her girlfriends or whatever in the congregation, because
Ugh,
they didn't
keep
want
it secret.
they didn't want everybody, they didn't want the women, in essence, to get together and start talking about these things and form against them in any way, because they're so worried about protecting the perpetrator. It's ridiculous.
You know what's so frustrating about that, y'all? I can't think of what it's called, but the word gossip, like it actually doesn't have like an inherently bad meaning. It's actually a good thing. But what they did is they took what women do to communicate like issues, problems, talk about solutions, and turned it into a completely negative thing. So, you know, that they a lot of times like would say women are cliquey in the congregation, but it's likely those women are bonding, they're talking about issues, problem, things of that nature, and the brothers don't like that. They don't want women having those kind of connections that the brothers are supposed to have, because
Yeah.
you know, women are
Oh,
just
yeah.
supposed to be silent and not bother the men with their little girly issues.
That's right.
Yeah, it's divisive. Exactly. It's very
Yeah.
divisive, so they say, but it's not. It's people. Yeah, sometimes there's gossip, but we're actually talking about things that could harm, hurt, help our family.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
And
support group.
and really, those things need to be talked about, because if you know who a predator is in your midst, don't you want to be able to protect yourself and others?
No, you should not. No, that is not
I
your
mean,
business.
no, it's not your business. You know, it's just ridiculous. Like, you're doing everything you can to protect these perpetrators and doing nothing for these victims whatsoever.
Right. They go hard to protect the perpetrators. It's so weird. It's just really like completely paradoxical. Like, I don't get it. I do not get it.
No, I don't
Anyway.
either.
Ah!
And
Ooh.
and I mean, I know, and I'll give the elders a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, okay? Because I know there's some, and here's why I say this, because I know there are some in there that are honestly trying to do the right thing. Yes.
Absolutely. It's almost as if they make it worse by continuously focusing on it like that. Once you
Yeah.
break through the mental barrier anyway, and you get it, you're like, now I get what they were doing.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, like I was saying, there are some that are honestly trying to do the right thing, and they think this organization does the right thing too. And so they're willing to follow the organization thinking it's the right thing. So,
Yeah, they're gonna follow the lead.
and the sad part is those good ones that are trying to do the right thing, thinking they're doing the right thing, are going to get swept under the bus with the rest of them.
Yep.
Because they're not doing the right thing. So for those honest and sincere ones, I feel sorry for. For the ones that
Right.
are just haughty, narcissistic MFers, they can piss right off.
And that shows you, though, if you don't have the ability to stand up for what's right, it's probably not a wholesome organization.
No. And when you do try to stand up for what's right, and then they shut you down by labeling you apostate or and kicking you out, that should be some major red flags for you right there.
Yep. They groom you to just turn off your brain when you hear certain words, right?
Yep, of course. And that's why so many stay stuck in it.
Yep. Their brain just goes,
Yeah, dead.
the whole.
Well, speaking about perpetrators,
Uh-oh.
segue here. We have an update on another perpetrator who we've actually reported about. I'm still compiling. I've been working on making a list
Ugh. God
Yeah.
damn.
There.
Oh,
Now you can
that
see him
is
better.
nightmare fuel.
Now you just take that picture and go to sleep. No.
That looks like a balloon with a face drawn on it.
I know. But instead the balloon got deformed.
It's like it was like a balloon that was really blown up and stretched, and then it kind of deflated a little bit. You know how so it gets a little like wonky and stretched out. That's
Yeah,
that
and,
dude.
And if you put it like near the heat, it kind of wrinkles up and stuff.
Yes, that's him. Oh dear. Ay, ay, ay.
But I've been working on trying to make a list of the stories we cover per episode. So that way, when I reference the story that we've talked about in the past, I can make it a whole lot easier and say, hey, we talked about it on this episode, etc. Yeah, right. Wasn't that oh, what's her name? Oh,
oh boy,
Angelina
sorry.
Jolie. Wasn't that Angelina Jolie's dad?
Oh, is it oh yeah, what's his name? I think so. I
John
think that is
Voight.
him. John Voight. It
Yes.
looks like John Voight.
John Voight.
Oh my goodness.
So, anyways, getting into this.
Love you, John friend.
This guy, Ernest Fyans. Yeah, they should fry him.
Fry him.
Ernest fry him to the max. Right, see, right here. Fry him to the max. So, go.
Oh, I'm so sorry. This is serious. Jesus Christ.
I'm waiting. Okay. So this guy is out of Maine. He is actually in the position he is in because of the Palmer leaks. And we did talk about this before on the show. And I showed you the video of the Palmer leaks where, in essence, what happened was some anonymous people went into a Kingdom Hall. They broke in and they stole records from the Kingdom Hall that that had all this guy's doings in there. They sent them to Mark O'Donnell, and Mark O'Donnell sent these records to the police. And this is how this guy got convicted. And so with that, this guy has now gotten the max sentence he could get in the state of Maine, which is 20 years for count 1 and 5 years for count 2. And he tried to invoke Jehovah in his plea to no avail. And I don't know why, because like really, you're gonna and yeah.
Oh my
it's
God.
Just weird.
Who does that?
Because they do this, and here's why: because they are so narcissistic and deluded that they think doing these things will get them off the hook.
I guess I think it's probably because they've been fed so much information about Jehovah's Witnesses who have these miraculous turnabouts, right?
Yeah.
Even though they're all probably lies, made up stories, it's just Jimbo from such and such country all of a sudden had this issue and then called upon Jehovah, and we don't know what happened, but the next day everything was fixed.
And on top of
Delulu.
And we still may not know the full impact of what this guy has done because he was in multiple congregations.
Oh God, I'm so scared.
So there may be more coming out about this guy in the future if we're lucky, and send him away for the rest of his life. Okay. But the victims were able to give an impact statement about what happened to them. Fyans, of course, was able to get up and say his own defense. And of course, he denied anything ever happened. He blamed his victims for making lying accusations against him, despite the overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
What a perv.
Yeah. I mean, and I've seen this before. Okay. If if anybody has ever listened to my story on my channel, my other channel, I talk about this a little bit because when my wife and I first got married, she got called as a second witness to her perpetrator. And when we were in there, she got to tell her story, what happened to her, what he did to her and everything. And then when she was done, he was able to speak, and all he did was blame her for what he did and everything else. So this is not something that's uncommon with these idiots like this. They always want to blame their victims or deny what they did to their victims, even with all the evidence in the world against them.
Yeah. Self-righteous, arrogant, they do no wrong. Somebody did something to them that caused them to behave in a specific way. They couldn't control themselves. And if it wasn't for that girl doing A, B, C, D, it wouldn't have happened. Right?
Oh my God. You just reminded me of
reversed.
another story I heard this week.
Oh no. There's too many.
I know. So I don't have the article, but this happened in North Carolina or South Carolina, one of those states. Okay. It was a Baptist preacher. He got up on the stage in front of his congregation saying how he was out at a mall recently and he kept seeing women with shorts on, right? For some reason, women with shorts set this dude off. And he was an old, sick mother effer. Okay. And basically what he said, if those women got raped and he was one of the jurors for the trial, that he would let the perpetrator go because the woman was wearing shorts and asking for it. It gets worse. It gets worse.
I'm sure it does. I am sure it does. Okay.
So, you would hope that people in the congregation, at least one or two, would get up and say, you know what? That's absolute bullshit. You need to get off your damn pulpit and shut the hell up. Nobody did. The congregation was silent.
They were just like, yep, she deserved it.
So that just shows their complicity with what he said. That is just absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Like if you can't control your eyes, like if you can't control where you look, like the Bible tells you what to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Bible tells you to just like pop your damn eyes out if you can't control yourself. So I'm not even sure how people are getting around that scripture. Well, obviously, because the Bible is pliable and flexible and you can make it say damn near anything you want it to. But that just proves that they're only using it for nefarious reasons. If you're always using it to, back up your claims or legitimize like your rhetoric, then obviously the book is probably a bit demented.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a good book.
Maybe not. But
maybe.
You saying the whole clothes thing reminded me of that. And there's video of it that's been going around the internet too. So, and I watched it. I was just like, this guy is just, at first I didn't realize it was a Baptist. I thought it was like a Mormon speaker at first. And then I found out it was a Baptist. I was just like, oh my goodness.
Damn. I mean, they've all got their, stuff, things, issues.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Joe and Fran. I agree with that. The members are the problem. Their existence is approval of the leaders. No members, no leaders. Yeah. So.
Yes, it is pervy Bible for pervy people. The Bible does not have any morals, right? It's just stories. And if you read a moral into it, and your moral is really like off base, that's on you. That's a you problem.
Yeah. Now, like you said, there are some good stories in it. Jesus had some good stories too, telling you about love and all that. But you get into all the other stuff, with the slavery and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. It's just, you can't have it both ways. You can't claim morality on a high ground when you say it's okay to own people.
Yes, this is probably one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. If your eye misleads you, blame those women making you think about their boobs with those low-cut shirts. Second douchebag 420.
Here, Jonathan, this is for you.
Oh yeah. Oh,
My low cut
Oh.
shirt.
I'm sinning in my mind right now.
Well, I mean, your shoulders are exposed. I mean, I'm practically watching Pornhub right now.
Could you imagine? But quite frankly, that's what men think. And if everybody now wait, if everybody walked around in a hijab, all clothed, then it would be a problem. Then we're being extreme, right? There's nothing that we can do to truly make men happy like that. Those kind of
Well,
men
no.
happy.
And there was a meme I saw, had this guy telling this woman to, dress better, right? And the woman sticks her hand up and her finger in his face and goes, "No, think better thoughts."
Yes. Yes.
And
It's-
that's where it's all at right there.
Because here's the thing, this is the real world, right? And we can't control other people, but what we can control is how we're receiving information, how we handle what we're being faced with. So if your immediate reaction is to make somebody else fix something because you can't handle it, I think that's probably a you problem, bro. Hey, Laura, welcome to the circus.
Well, Laura, I'm gonna berate you a little bit because you were up way too late last night, and I know that for a fact.
Were you guys being
Discord.
naughty last night?
On Discord.
Mhm. You were supposed to be here bright and early. I'm a little
I know.
disappointed.
We're gonna have to
I'd
make a
thought
public
better.
proof here.
No more microphones for you for a whole week. Sorry.
But I mean, Jonathan's making a good point. How
Yes,
many women in
exactly.
hijabs get raped in the same areas of the world? It's not the clothes, has
It
nothing to
isn't.
do with clothes.
Nothing will ever be enough. It's not the clothes. Women,
No.
I'm sure that Fee can tell us how,
Yep.
People she knows have been assaulted, and they've, we know how Amish dress for the most part, head to toe, right? They're really covered. They don't dress like this,
No.
but there is still assault because it's never going to be enough. It's not the women, it's not or the boys or the girls, right? Because it happens to everybody. It happens to men. In jeans and a t-shirt? Like, no. It is the predator's problem.
Exactly.
It's never been about the clothing.
Never
There's
about the
nothing that we
clothing.
can ever do. Exactly.
I mean,
we'll never be able to cover up enough.
I was just having a conversation about this with somebody the other day. If a woman was to walk around in public completely naked, that's still not a reason to go and assault her.
Mm-mm. Right.
Not at all.
Exactly. If the man is a sex worker, it is still not a reason to assault them.
No.
There's never a reason, no matter what it is. There's never a reason for that to happen. I don't care.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see
Please,
how the Amish dress, go to their website at misfitamish.com and you'll be able to see those pictures of
as
how
well,
the
please
Amish dressed.
Please also, Fee makes awesome content, does great
Yes.
interviews. I've been on there. James has been on there.
Yep.
Please go give them a follow, boost their content. They do lives. They also have a TikTok account. I think it's really important that we branch out and learn about, other groups who have felt and dealt with the very same issues that we have. Because we're stronger together. We're stronger together. So please go check out Fee's stuff.
Yes. And that's misfitamish.com and also Misfit Amish on TikTok and YouTube as well. So she's a great person, great friend as well.
Absolutely.
So, and we get to go. I get to meet her in person for the first time.
Oh shit, that's right.
For her birthday. So
can you make sure you please remind me so I don't
I will
forget. Thank you.
I will.
Like seriously, because I'm doing things right now that my brain's kind of off with the fairies. So
We'll talk about it after the show a little bit, and I'll let you.
yeah,
So,
definitely.
anyways, did you have anything else?
You know what? Just quickly, I actually do want to make a little spiel. Is last week James and I got a comment from somebody who was following us at one point and then decided to unfollow us because of our coverage of what's happening in Palestine.
Oh,
And
yes.
and they called us anti-Semitic. And you guys, like, I do want to make, I actually want to apologize. I would like to apologize to that person that they don't know the difference between a religion and a state. I'm sorry that that person who left that comment doesn't know the difference between a nationality, geopolitical movement, and a religion. I am sorry that you haven't taken your time after 5 to 6 months, 30,000 people dying, 11,000 of those children, that you have not taken the time to educate yourself. So yes, I am sorry for that. And I'm glad that you're not following us, because I don't want your negative energy here. So I wish that you saw this. You probably won't, but go with God, my friend.
As Fee likes to say on her TikTok a lot, and I love this, have the day you deserve.
Have the day you deserve. I don't want you here. And you know what? It's not an airport. You don't need to announce your flight, your departure. Bye. Adios.
You know, when you have a religion, country, or whatever committing the atrocities that they are, you're damn right I'm against them.
And here's the thing. The whole purpose of Zionism is to conflate Judaism with Zionism, Judaism with the nationality, right? And if white Christian nationality is a problem and we can like say, hey, that's not good, what would be the difference between white Zionist nationality? There is no difference. It's the same problem dressed up with a religion behind it, just like Christian nationality. Like, I know not all Christians are like that, right? Like, I have that understanding. It's the same thing. This is purposely under the guise of Judaism, so we can't say anything, so we can be considered anti-Semitic. The reason I make all the biblical content I do is because I love Judaism. I respect the Bible. I understand the difference between reality and what the oppressor is feeding me, which they don't.
Yeah. And, you know, that's very well said, because, you know, there are so many attitudes about it, and they think anything against that particular group is automatically a negative thing. It's just like the Jehovah's Witness thinking.
Yeah.
If you say anything negative about the group, you're automatically a bad person.
That is the perfect comparison, James. It is exactly like that. It is purposeful to negate responsibility. I can just say, oh, they just want to see me dead. They just hate me. No, I want to help you. What you're doing is bad. It's wrong. It is absolutely 100% genocide that we are witnessing. And I'm not going to sit idly by and pretend that it's not happening, because what you are doing now is what you would have done during the Holocaust. And I tell you fucking what, I'd be doing the same damn thing. I truly would. And that is probably why I'm going so hard. Because I feel like when I was a kid and I read about the Holocaust and I asked my parents, why did that happen? Why did we allow slavery? Like, why do people not do anything? And the Jehovah's Witness parents said, well, that's because that's what God wanted. God wanted to show us how bad humans are, so that way we would understand that we need God, we need his kingdom. But the reality is those words were just to keep us in this false sense of reality and not to say a word and to remain silent while people died. It's intentional. It is absolutely on purpose, and I'm not falling for it. And y'all need to wake up if you haven't.
And that's the kind of attitudes that create complicity.
Boom. Boom. And we're just as guilty, just like blood guilt. Like the way the Jehovah's Witnesses used it, I don't appreciate how they used it. It was manipulative on purpose. But truthfully, if I saw somebody in front of me, like with a wound, and I did nothing and they died, I would feel complicit and guilty for not doing anything. No, you don't need to make, exactly. And taking punishment out on an entire group is just, but it's nonsense. It's against the law. I mean, they're an occupying state. The international law deems Israel, the government, okay, a state is an occupying force, which means they have stolen the land that they are on. Okay. So whoever is leaving these comments,
Yeah.
you need to get a grip.
No, and you're right. And I appreciate you bringing that out because, you know, it is
Oh yeah. Is there an update on Norway?
not yet.
Okay.
We're still waiting on that. I've been keeping an eye out for that, and we haven't got an update yet. But keep following the channel and like, subscribe, and share, and you will get those updates. See,
Please
great
do.
little time to plug in.
And LOH is just looping it back to making sure that, you know, please go follow Fee. So, you know, they have a whole display of what you were wearing when they were assaulted. And I wasn't surprised, but I think some people might be shocked to see that it's not a little shoulder that gets you assaulted.
No,
It's perverts. It's perverts.
it is. And that's all it is.
That's all it is.
So, and you can look at all the studies on this and everything. It's straight up 100% the perverts.
It's the perps. It's the perps and the pervs.
Well, with all that being said, we're going to go
All
ahead and
that
wrap
being
up the
said.
show. 'Cause
Thank you all.
Thank you all for
sitting there with me as I offloaded that, but I was quite frustrated when I saw that comment.
as Ryan sits up here on her pulpit to preach
On
to
my
the
high
choir.
horse. And on my high horse again.
and her horse is Mr. Ed.
Hey, he can talk.
Yeah,
He probably has better advice than that other dude that left the comment. Just saying.
probably
More common sense. Horse sense.
instead of horse shit.
I ain't horsing around. Oh, yes. Please like the stream, y'all.
Yes. Please
Before
like,
you go.
subscribe, share, get it out to the YouTube algorithms. Thank you all for joining us this week again. We will be back with you next week. And like I said, I am keeping my eye on the Norway situation. Haven't got an update yet, so we're still waiting on that. And trying to get things more together as far as the show's concerned and the notes and everything as well to reference back to other shows. And next week, we will do officially season 3, episode 1. So please be sure to join us for that. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everybody you can. And have a great week, everybody. We will see you next week.
Apostate your way.
Exactly. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.